Yeah. It's the weekend, baby. Are you excited? I am. But then every day can be the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Every day can be Friday. It's whatever you deem it to be. Okay. Yeah. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. And that this amazing day finds you feeling absolutely fantastic. I really gotta put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm getting all kinds of messages throwing me off. So I'm gonna bring it back. My children. Whew, I held off getting them cell phones for as long as I could. All right, now we're here. A little cinnamon. All right, let's get this party started. I'll be right back. And I'm back. All right. Hey, y'all. Okay, so before we get started and I do my little intro, let us pray, shall we? Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you so much for this awesome and amazing day and another opportunity to come before you to humble ourselves and just to thank you, worship you, and acknowledge you for all that you have done and continue to do in our lives. We thank you for all of the blessings that don't even seem like blessings that are truly helping us to be the greatest version of ourselves. We thank you for our ancestors and all the battles that they fight in realms that we cannot see and for their sacrifices and for cheering us along. We thank you for the archangels, for healing us, for protecting us, and bestowing messages on your behalf to us. We return any and all negative energy, evil eye, and anything that does not fall in alignment with our greatest good back to sender 10 times fold. And the church say, amen. Okay, let's get to it. Yeah. Happy weekend, baby. Let's get straight into it. For those of you all who are new, welcome and thank you for joining me. And for those of you all who are returning, what's up? Either way, my name is Desi. I'm D, actually. I am your nurse, your big sister, your travel agent, your self-care advocate, your Christian intuitive. I am all of that and more. It'll all be listed in the description box below, but we're about to get started. And either way, thank you. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I love it when you all interact with me, okay? It encourages me and it keeps the channel flowing. So for those of you all who are new, this is the segment that we call the Blessed Seven. Whoops. We got cards flying out here already. Okay. Where I intuitively, oh, there's too many cards. I intuitively pull scripture cards for you and I, right? Because I'm a part of the collective too. Universe, Father, What would you have us know on this day? I'm talking about all these cards want to come out at the same cards. Okay, fine. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. We can be tired, weary, and emotionally distraught, but after spending time alone with God, we find that He injects into our bodies energy, power, and strength. Charles Stanley. May you be blessed by the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Psalms 115:15. Hope is one of the principal springs that keep mankind in motion. Thomas Fuller. All right. And one more. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. I walk boldly and wisely. There is a hand above that will help you on. Philip James Bailey. I don't know. I felt like I read that wrong for some reason. So, the thought occurred to me today as I was preparing to join you guys for this quick time of acknowledgement that there is such a thing in this world as pretty privilege, right? Which can be a blessing and the opposite of that sometimes, where people can assume things about you just because you're attractive. And it also dawned on me that just because something is beautiful doesn't mean it's not toxic. Like if you were to go on a stroll in a jungle, you're going to see all kinds of amazing exotic creatures and animals and wildlife, and I guess that's all the same, but flowers specifically. Some of the most absolutely gorgeous and stunning flowers are absolutely toxic and will kill you. Keep that in mind. Hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is steadfast love, and with him is plentiful redemption. Psalms 137. Give thanks to the God of heaven, for his steadfast love endures forever. Psalms 136:26. And I say that to say sometimes we think that first of all, if you ever think something is too good to be true, it probably is. That's one. Okay. So especially when you're dealing with people who just seem too good to be true, they probably are. Okay. And then also the other thing is just because someone is attractive doesn't mean that they should be given grace that they normally wouldn't, right? Not that unattractive people don't get as much grace and patience, but I think there's something about, especially with men, if she's beautiful and she's fine, they'll put up with the toxicity. In women, right? If he's absolutely just like, your patience seems to expand a little bit more. But nevertheless, people know how to weaponize their attributes to get what they desire if that's what they're on. And I was explaining this to my children the other day. You save grace for self. You observe everybody else and you move accordingly with your discernment, right? So like you give yourself grace because you can vouch for you. You know when you've made a mistake. You know when you've, truly done something that is out of character. We don't know that about other people. You can't vouch for them. You don't know what they truly are feeling on the inside. And so that's when you go within and you ask God, you look to your higher power, your source, and you say, is this person legit? Are they playing in my face? You know what I mean? I think I mentioned that in my last video. So I just want to reiterate that because grace is something that if someone is asking you for grace and to be patient with them, that's a red flag because you may be in a position where you're ready for something, and if someone else isn't, then they're just not for you because everything aligns exactly how it's supposed to. And a lot of challenges will come to see, will you recognize the signs of what you deserve and what you don't? If Someone that truly loves themselves is not going to put up with certain type of behaviors, not within themselves or anyone else. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. God always gives his best to those who leave the choice with him. Jim Elliott. I really am hoping that one of my favorite cards comes out today. Drop in the comments below what's your favorite scripture or saying or inspirational quote that just makes you feel good. Excuse me. Oh, shake it on my. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Psalms 9:9. Patience and perseverance have a magical effect before which difficulties disappear and obstacles vanish. John Quincy Adams. I think I failed to mention the last time that all the cards will be in the description. Everything of importance will be listed in the description box below. So if I speak fast, you didn't catch something or something happened with the audio, no worries. It'll be listed in the description box. So check it out. There's a lot of wealth of information there. And once I'm done with the Blessed Seven and the Busted Bible Roulette, which comes at the end, I will put my own little take on my interpretation of those collectively for you. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, one to go. Okay. I'm gonna just speak that August goes as slow as a turtle, okay? We're snailing our way through August. Because baby ain't ready to let it go. I'm not ready. God arms me with strength and he makes my way perfect. Psalms 18:32. Faith reminds us that change is always possible. Jim Wallace. Did I get him before? Was Mr. Wallace here before? That was Jim Elliott. We got a couple of Jims out here. Anybody named Jim out there? Shout out to you, because apparently you are on the mind of the divine today. A couple of Jims. Okay. All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Blessed Seven. We're moving right along. Right along. And that came from my Keep Calm and Trust God. For those of you all who are new to me, I explained the significance of this deck and how it really changed everything in my life a decade and a half ago. But most recently, it's come back into my life and it's been a blessing ever since. And so I will always acknowledge this particular deck because it really got me through a time in my life where I needed some inspiration and I needed to be able to give it to myself because, it's one thing to call on someone else to help uplift you, but it's nothing like being able to do it for yourself. And I was in a time where the only person I could turn to was me, genuinely. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless if someone answers the phone or not, you still gotta be able to uplift yourself and do that for you, be your own cheerleader, even if there's no one else looking or anyone available. It doesn't matter. It's about what you feel ultimately at the end of the day. I've had scenarios where I have tried my best to uplift people and they just were not there. And that's fine. Because ultimately the lesson was it has to come from within. It doesn't matter. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, baby. And I have tried to make people drink who even supposedly wanted me to help them make them drink. But the resistance was there. All right, so these are our affirmation cards because we know that we only write cash. We only write checks that are in cash, okay? So when you're speaking affirmations, if you're going to speak anything, speak the greatest outcome. I desire to feel joy. I deserve to feel joy, okay? Yes, I deserve to feel joy. The point of life is balance, not perfection, okay? If you out there trying to live by perfect standards, cut it out and give yourself that grace. Because in your mistakes come oftentimes the wisdom and the overcoming of challenges and lessons that build you up and strengthen you that you absolutely need. I was having a conversation with my oldest son, who he is a singer, and he has made some awesome adjustments for his senior year that he felt were going to be more in alignment with his education. But what he didn't know is that when he made those changes, it would put him in a position to um, have a less favorable atmosphere. And so now he's trying to reverse it. And I told him, I said, we're going to speak the greatest possible outcome regardless. Okay. Either way, if you get, if you have to deal with this scenario that you have created, or if you're able to transition back to where you were, speaking the greatest possible experience in either scenario is going to help you have a successful year regardless. So in this transition that you've made, this decision that you've made, start focusing in on what you can appreciate about it versus what you can't stand about it. Your vibration, because if you truly understand and know that you are the director of your movie, then you know that what you say goes. Okay. People behave, they are respectful, they are, it's the most ideal scenario. And the experience becomes more and more enjoyable every day. That feels a hell of a lot better than being pessimistic and focusing on the things that just really grind your gears. Okay. So that's for whoever needs it. Oops. Cards are flying today, boy. The energy is like, it's the weekend. Let's go. Now I do have some things to take care of. I am in the middle of a 42-hour fast. Can you tell? So if you hear my tummy, I have like 5 hours left. And I'm going to break my fast with my workout, a good deep stretch, a good wholesome meal that's going to benefit my body, a nice walk, a meditation, and then some much needed deep sleep to recover from it all. Oops. All right, so we're going to pull 7 affirmation cards. And then we're going to go to our spirit messages. You know I love my spirit messages. I bought a new deck, y'all. So I'm going to be dabbling in that. And maybe I will start integrating it here. We'll see. I like to keep this at least at max an hour. So we're kind of like with the current format, we're averaging about 45 minutes to an hour per episode because it just takes so much to upload this. I don't know. I would love I speak that it gets easier to upload because then it kind of puts me in a position where my phone is on lock and I move fast. I'm a multitasker by nature. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna play some more with it, get to know it better, bond with my deck, and then we'll see if I can integrate some tarot for my beautiful, amazing collective. And shout out to y'all. Thank you for joining me. I love myself deeply. Amen. Period. And do. I think I mentioned the affirmation that I've recently integrated into my arsenal of favorites. And it's every time I say I love you, I get paid large amounts of money and or blessings manifest. My life is a gift and I appreciate everything I have. You better. Also, I mentioned in the last video about the 10 abundances, evidence of abundances to be written every day. And I started doing that. And today is, let's see, day 4. And you'll be amazed how truly abundant you already are. Like you can know that, but to literally list it out forces you to really see how abundant your life is. You ever meet someone who has everything and still feels like they have nothing? And it's like, do you see your life? I'm gonna need you to see yours too. I am safe and sound, all is well. As a Taurus, I can vouch that that is a wonderful affirmation because we're all about security. And we have to feel secure in order to feel anything beyond that. Okay. Security is like the foundation and everything else builds on top of that. So, yes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 2 to go. Divine, give us 2 more. One of my candles went out now. Always reaffirm the greatest possible version of yourself in whatever situation you find yourself in at any given moment. Okay. I'm at more ease every day. I'm at more ease every day. Now I'm paranoid that my nose ring is not. I always check it, but sometimes the thing moves. I don't know how it moves. Okay. Even when I had the other one, oh my God. Do y'all remember the one I had before that looked like the pig? Oh, I couldn't stand that thing. I go back and watch my videos and be like, I cannot wait to get this thing out. And now I'm so excited. I seek a new way of thinking about the situation. Turning your perspective around is imperative because what you're feeling combined with what you're thinking, oh boy, you're ready for it to manifest. So don't go down those dark negative rabbit holes. Become as self-aware as possible. How am I feeling at this moment? Oh, if it's anxiety or if it's boredom or if it's anything less than joy, recognize that and ask yourself, do I want to feel better? Okay, well, what can I do in this moment to help me feel better? I can change what I'm thinking. All right, what can I think about? And I always say, have like a standby thing that you can go directly to, especially when you find yourself in this situation where you might be feeling a certain type of way or been triggered or whatever. Have a standby image. I always think of a kid in a basket. I remember when I was dealing with someone very, very toxic and had to, unfortunately, because of our connection. And I made I changed their name on their contact. And here's another hack. Please do this because it helps a lot. If you have a very clear disdain for someone, okay, and I'm talking about you just do not care for this person for whatever reason, don't, please, fight everything in your body to make their contact something negative, okay? Please. And make it something as positive as possible. So for me, I changed it to peaceful sanity, you know, and then I made the picture a kitten playing with yarn in a little basket, you know. I took that energy of being able to upset me just by seeing the name on my phone come up. Because at one point I was putting emojis that I can't even mention on this. But anyway, I wasn't helping myself. And so I said, you know what? Since I am the creator of my experience, I'm going to put something cute up, something harmless, something that couldn't possibly hurt me if it tried. Kittens can try, but they can't really do a whole lot of damage. Okay. They can't. They might hurt, might sting a little bit, but you can always scruff that thing up and push it. Okay, you good. Go over there now. You know what I'm saying? And then also the name that you associate with this person or situation, because it could be a job, right? It could be whatever. I don't know. I'll spray my ground. Okay. Creature of habit. But anyway, um, yeah, I changed it to a cute little picture. And then I wrote the name as something that I was desiring, which was peaceful sanity from this person. Okay. And I'm not going to say the minute that I did that it changed, but over time, my vibration towards this individual changed and the interactions between us changed. And it's been peaceful sanity ever since. Okay. All that extra fluff that didn't matter to nobody, any type of drama just melted away. And what was most important for the connection between us was the main thing. And it was because I had to change my vibration towards this situation, towards this person. Um, Even though I do feel like I was the most sane person in the situation. I needed that to be reflected back to me by not being triggered or allowing this person to trigger me into a vibration that I don't even belong in. I'm gonna need you to come up, not me come down. Okay. All right. So just keep that in mind. Oops. All right. I am doing work that I enjoy and find fulfilling. I think we got this the last card. I mean, the last episode. So how many is that? Did I go past? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we got a bonus card. That was 8. I got to rambling. Okay. So that's infinity for our affirmations, which is fine by me. All right. So now we're moving on to spirit messages. All right. But yeah, please do that. It's an absolute game changer. I mean, because nobody, and putting people on mute, okay, so that you can ease into conversations with them when you want to and not be blindsided. Narcissists know energetically when you're not thinking about them. And so by putting them on mute and you get the notification in a more eased way is helpful too. It's like, oh, okay, I see it. And now you can kind of just breathe into it and make the decision when you're ready to read it versus being pulled right into some type of emotional, tailspin. Okay. It helps tremendously. But, I'm a Taurus. We believe in blocking. So there's that. Trust me, if there's anyone in my life that I'm not too keen on, it's because I have to. And so I've learned how to make the best out of it as much as possible. And less is best. When you're dealing with toxic people, honey, that you have to, less is always best. Don't feed into the antics. Don't take the bait. Remain, oh my goodness. Remain true to self. And just remember, you are the captain of the ship. And you don't give up your energy for nobody unless you want to go there. Okay. And even then, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? How many spiritual messages we were doing? 3. Okay, so 3 fell out, and we're going to take the 3. Because for whatever reason today, my shuffling is like, it's like the messages just want to come flying out. All right, so we got 3 here. Okay. Those difficult times will pass. Nothing bad lasts forever. The sun will shine again. The birds will sing. The clouds will clear. And you will be glad you kept moving forward. You will soon be rewarded for your patience. Hold on. You are far stronger than you think. Can you see my guns? Let me see. No, can't see my guns. Okay, fine. Whatever. Let go of the old and make way for the new. You may find yourself being distracted by random thoughts, fears, and doubts. Don't allow yourself to be governed by them. Simply observe and choose to take aligned actions and choices. It kind of goes along with what I was saying before. If you find yourself going down a rabbit hole that doesn't serve you, politely just say, oh, okay, I'm good on that, and move on to something else. Think of something better. It really is that simple. I think some rabbit holes are so intoxicating and so inviting, even if they're negative, that sometimes it's hard to even recognize the fact that you're there. And some people don't even realize how they feel. Check in with yourself periodically throughout the day and say, how am I feeling right now at this exact moment? What's going on with me? Check in with you. I used to do that a lot in different forums that I was employed in, where I would walk around and just randomly ask people genuinely, how you doing? How you feeling? You doing all right? How's your day? That's just me. So do that for you. Don't place limits upon yourself. You are an infinite being with unlimited potential. You can have and be anything you want. Don't hold yourself back or allow anyone else to. This is your life. Live your truth and remain heart-centered at all times. This is your life. And I'm sitting here right now. I'm going to tell you, I am not reincarnating anymore. I'm good. I'm going to forego that light. I'm going to turn around and go the opposite direction. Okay? Don't go towards the light, Caroline, if you don't want to come back. And I'll visit in the spirit realm. I'll be one of the ancestors coming to check in on my babies. But yeah, no. In the meantime, make the best out of this. This is your life. Do your thing. Don't let nothing and nobody hold you back. And I think that that's a surefire way of knowing who should be in your life and who should not. Anyone that's holding you back, talking you out of your dreams, they got to go. They got to go. Because true friends are going to listen more than they're going to discourage, unless you are doing something absolutely dangerous, like you're not you, of course not you, but someone is a raging alcoholic who is living on life's edge every day, putting their kids in harm's way or driving recklessly just for shits and giggles, whatever. But if you have dreams and aspirations and you find people even remotely giving you you know where they can go. All right, so this is our Rethink deck, where we only pulled 2 because it is humongous, baby. This deck is okay. I'm feeling goofy. All right, I don't want to set my braids on fire. So, embracing vulnerability. Oh, well, that's a pretty flower. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I don't know. It looks so backwards on here, but that's actually a hand holding a flower. Anywho, embracing vulnerability. Excuse me. Welcoming the raw beauty of vulnerability, I fearlessly invite new experiences and connections into my life. With unwavering courage, I allow myself to be seen and heard, understanding the true connection blossoms in the space of vulnerability. And that just brought up a thought. So I was out grocery shopping, and I make a circuit. Whenever I go grocery shopping, I try to get everything done in that one big circuit, because most of the places that I shop at are about 20 minutes away. I, as a young manifester who didn't understand my power, used to say a very famous Christian quote: enlarge my territory. Okay. Well, that resulted in the immediate conveniences were like 5 minutes away shutting down. And now my territory expanded 20 minutes in either direction for what I needed. So now I'm speaking that thing come back. Those things come back. But in the meantime, I try to go and do, so it ends up being kind of an adventure in itself. Excuse me. So anyway, the last leg of this adventure, I got one more stop. I'm in Costco. I got everything I need. Eating. My fast was done. I'm eating little, samples. I'm just throwing caution to the wind. I get to the exit and I realize I don't know where my keys are. And I'm like, well, we know they're in the store. Okay. And luckily for me, the last station that I got a little treat from, I specifically remember anchoring my keys in such a way. So I backtracked. And I ended up backtracking like 3 times, to the point where the vendors that were sitting out, there were about 4 vendors that were sitting out, plus the people at the checkout, the self-checkout, who knew what was going on with me. Because I kept seeing me walk back and forth, like, did you find your keys yet? Did you find your keys? I'm like, no. And I remained completely patient with the whole thing. Even though I knew I had stuff in the car that needed to be refrigerated, and it was like 90 degrees outside. And I'm like, okay, all right, universe, come on. In the midst of that, looking for these keys, I still got me some more samples. Okay. I'm like, I'm just not going to feed into this. I'm going home. And I literally stood there for a minute and envisioned myself getting in the car, turning it on, and going, okay, thank God that's over, and moving on to the last leg of my adventure and coming home. It literally was in the bottom of the bin, which was almost bare anyway, thank God, where you get the boxes. So I had just done my self checkout, had a nice little, conversation with the ladies at the self checkout. The lady liked my hair, and the other one she's always so pleasant. You see people on a regular basis, and you kind of have, at least I easily build rapport with people, because I'm a people person to a certain degree. Okay, I am, but I'm not. So anyway, but I have a very soft spot in my heart for people of service because I feel like, you're helping humanity in such a beautiful, amazing way. I could be nice to you. Of course, you're doing something for me. You know what I mean? Anyway, I asked where there were boxes, and she's like, I'm sorry, there's not a lot over there, but they're over there. And I went back over there that last time, and there they were in the bottom of the bin. And it was right across from self checkout. And this woman, I'm short, but when I meet people who are shorter than me, it tickles me because it makes me feel like for once in my life, I'm towering over someone outside of when my children were small. And it's just so bizarre to me because I'm only 5'3". So to meet people shorter than me is like, oh, wow, this is what tall people feel. Um, and I walked up to this really nice woman that I've interacted with several times going in and out of Costco. And I said, would you like a hug? And she said, did you find your keys? And I'm like, yeah, I found my keys. And it was like one of those moments of just being excited. And she was like, you're going to think that I'm weird. But every time I pray to whatever saint that she mentioned, I want to say Saint Anthony. I'm not really familiar with Roman Catholic saints, but it always works out. And I said, that's not weird. And I appreciate you. Thank you. You helped me find my keys. But I never once succumbed to because it was funny because when I would walk past people who knew, the vendors that knew that I was looking for my keys, they would go, oh man, that sucks. And, like I should be panicking. And I'm like, I'm not panicking because nobody, first of all, is going to pick up somebody's car keys and go, oh, I'm going to steal a car today. They're just not going to do that. Like, not in the world that I live in. Maybe in other people's realities. And I understand that that could be a thing. But nah, not in my reality. Sorry. Um, it was more so I was concerned because I had indulged in these samples that I normally wouldn't because I have a very strict diet. That I threw them away. I'm like, there's no way in hell I threw my keys away. There's no way. There's no way. And I had the thought that they could be in the boxes, but I got distracted so quickly that it just came and went. And then I came back around to it and it was like, there they are. And so I wasn't able to go back and tell everyone that I found my keys, but at least I was able to let the one lady know. And her name is Joy. And I'm like, how fitting, Joy. So I made a friend. And even in the midst of that, I looked at the positives in that scenario and I didn't succumb to any type of panic or, oh my God, I didn't go into all of that. It was just like, okay, well, this is happening for a reason. I need to be more mindful. And maybe this little extra tour back and forth through the store is aligning me for something and timing, or maybe it's helping me misalign with something that could be not the greatest for me. So I'm okay with that. I was okay with it. Oh, two came out. Do we take them? All right, we'll take them. We got extra cards here today. All right, so the first one, let's see, should we do inner child healing? Okay. I think we've gotten this one before because I remember this little picture of a woman holding a baby. That's a little bit clearer. I honor and nurture my inner child, tenderly healing the wounds of the past and embracing the pure joy and innocence within me. I release any pain or burdens, allowing my inner child to flourish and infuse my life with boundless happiness. That goes back to what I was saying about grace. There's an inner you, a little baby version of you still in you. We're just children that live so many years. We're still children though. And that grace, when you make a mistake, I use this analogy with my son yesterday. Grace is like when a baby that doesn't know any better, obviously, takes their little sippy cup of milk and they just stand in the middle of your beautiful rug, oriental white and gray rug, and just turns the cup upside down and goes, oh, look at that. Or they go, uh-oh. And you don't yell at them and kick them out the window. You don't do any of that. You just go, okay, look, we don't do that. Come here, let me show you what we're going to do to fix it. Okay. And that's grace. That's the grace. And your inner child you deserve that grace and that healing. We all have a backstory. I got a sob story. Everybody got a sob story. I just don't care about it anymore. And I genuinely want to utilize the rest of that time that I have on this beautiful, amazing planet that we're so grateful to have. We should be grateful to have. Happy. So if that means that I need to heal something, let go of something, you know, there was an exercise that I did in one of my spiritual classes where the instructor had us get up, because it's all virtual, and pick up your chair or your cushion or your pillow, whatever you were sitting on, and walk around the room with it, and then come back and sit down. And when we did, it was like, okay, so how was that? And it was like, well, I had to kind of make adjustments, and it wasn't that easy, whatever. And that's the point. When you're walking around with wounds and baggage and emotional stuff that no longer serves you, living in the past, reactivating those vibrations of that pain and ruminating, you can't fully enjoy your now because you're holding on to stuff that just is unnecessary. Drop it. Persistence. In the face of challenges and setbacks, I embody persistence, acknowledging them as invaluable opportunities for personal growth and profound learning. With unwavering determination, I refuse to surrender my goals, instead, forging ahead with resilience and unwavering resolve. And those are your rethink cards. And also, really surrendering to the art of allowing. You don't have to chase anything. As a matter of fact, all my amazing opportunities just floated right on to me. Ta-da! I'm here. Would you like to accept? Of course I would. Well, that's why I'm here. Acceptance is key. Acceptance is key. And now we are on to our namaste for those of you all who like homework. Hey, I didn't make the rules. Or yeah, I did. But I know someone out there likes homework. So this is for you, baby. And then we'll move on to our busted Bible roulette. We'll burn some bay leaves and we'll get you back on the road. Thank you for watching this far. I'm absolutely assured that if you found this video or this video found you, there was something here that was said today that you needed to hear. And I'm so grateful to be the conduit to deliver that message to you. Drop it in the comments, some sparkles, some emojis that fit the moment, and how much you have enjoyed our time together. The future self. Ooh, let's do it. Imagine an aged version of yourself. Now that's gonna be hard because I don't age, but some people, they take on that persona. They like old. I love young. I don't know. Not 5 years older, not 10 years older, but a version of yourself that is satisfied with a long life lived. Have a conversation with this wise old version of yourself. What advice would you get? Build a relationship and get to know this version of yourself for 8 minutes. I like it. You may find that what is bothering you in the present has little to no significance at all. Funny how we can turn a stressful situation into nothing at all. Try it. I don't know. Me and my knocking today. I don't know. I feel like knocking. Maybe opportunity is knocking. I don't usually knock my decks as much as I have today. So something must be coming. Something got to be coming. I was doing an amazing meditation by Joe Dispenza right before this, and I saw my future, and I was like, oh my God, like I wanted to jump up and down for joy. I love meditation. Please start. There's meditations that you can do while you're driving. There's meditations that you can do while you don't necessarily have to zone out. Eyes are open, and it's a quick little 5-minute check-in. There's all different types of meditations out here that are at your fingertips on this YouTube university, as I call it. So tap in. You control your mind and set yourself free from the matrix. Okay. All right, we got a card here. Barefoot walk. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, this was actually I feel like I had a thought about barefoot walking. Do you remember what it feels like to have fresh grass under your toes? When was the last time you allowed your bare feet to touch the earth and feel everything underneath them? Give yourself a moment to walk barefoot. Invite all the sensations into your body. Walk slowly and calmly. That's what it was. I invited someone on a nature walk. slow, calm movement that invites vulnerability. Second time we talked about vulnerability. Like walking barefoot can help ground you in the moment. Feel your body relax into this exercise. Okay. So it's all about being vulnerable and healing that inner child persistently. All right. You know what time it is. Bye. Busted Bible roulette. Okay. Spirit, what is the message that you would have us be nourished with on this amazing day? Whenever my amazing and beautiful collective watches this, what is the message? I think I like the word amazing a little too much. I don't care though. My world, my rules. Classically, I'm probably saying it wrong because for whatever reason, you know how you see a word and you're like, I know how to say that word, but for whatever reason at this moment, it's not coming out right. Classically, and this is a New Living Translation Bible, by the way. So we're going to do 6. No, we're going to do, yeah, we're going to do 6 through 9. Ooh, 12 is talking to me too. Okay, so we're going to do 6 through 9. I actually don't have a whole lot underlined here, so I'm going to go off of what I do. Actually, I'm going to just read this real quick because we got time. Alexa, turn on branch. Need a little light though. Here we go. Hey, y'all. The daytime allows me not to have to turn on that big old lamp behind me because that thing is bright. Okay, so I'm just going to read this real quick. There is another serious tragedy I've seen under the sun, and it weighs heavily on humanity. God gives some people great wealth and honor and everything they could ever want, but then He doesn't give them the chance to enjoy these things. They die, and someone, even a stranger, ends up enjoying their wealth. This is meaningless and sickening, a sickening tragedy. A man might have 100 children and live to be very old, but if he finds no satisfaction in life and doesn't even get a decent burial, it would have been better for him to have been born dead, to be born dead. His birth would have been meaningless and he would have ended in darkness. He wouldn't even have had a name, and he would have never seen the sun or known of its existence. Yet he would have had more peace than in growing up to be an unhappy man. He might live 1,000 years twice over, but still not find contentment. And since he must die like everyone else, well, what's the use? All people spend their lives scratching for food, but they never seem to have enough. So, are wise people really better off than fools? Do poor people gain everything by being wise and knowing how to act in front of others? Enjoy what you have rather than desiring what you don't have. Just dreaming about nice things is meaningless, like chasing the wind. Okay. The future, determined and unknown. Everything has already been decided. It was known long ago that what each person would be. So there's no use arguing with God about your destiny. The more words you speak, the less they mean. So what good are they? In the few days of meaningless lives, in the few days of our meaningless lives, we know who knows how our days can best be spent. Our lives are like a shadow. Who can tell what will happen on this earth after we are gone? Wisdom for life. A good reputation is more valuable than costly perfume, and the day you die is better than the day you were born. Better to spend your time at funerals than at parties. After all, everyone dies. So the living should take this to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for sadness has a refining influence on us. A wise person thinks a lot about death, while a fool thinks only about having a good time. Better to be criticized by a wise person than to be praised by a fool. A fool's laughter is quickly gone, like thorns crackling in a fire. This also is meaningless. Extortion turns wise people into fools, and bribes corrupt the heart. Finishing is better than starting. Patience is better than pride. Control your temper, for anger labels you a fool. Don't long for the good old days. This is not wise. Wisdom is even better when you have money. Both are a benefit as you go through life. Wisdom and money can get you almost anything, but only wisdom can save your life. Accept the way God does things, for who can strengthen what he has made crooked? Enjoy prosperity while you can, but when hard times strike, realize God both realize that both come from God. Remember that nothing is certain in this life. Limits of human wisdom. I have seen everything in this meaningless life, including the death of good young people and a long life of wicked people. So don't be too good or too wise. Why destroy yourself? On the other hand, don't be too wicked either. Don't be a fool. Why die before your time? Pay attention to these instructions, for anyone who fears God will avoid both extremes. One wise person is stronger than 10 leading citizens of a town. Not a single person on earth is always good and never sins. Don't eavesdrop on others. You may hear your servant curse you, for you know how often you yourself have cursed others. I have always tried my best to let wisdom guide my thoughts and actions. I said to myself, I am determined to be wise, but it doesn't work. Wisdom is always distant and difficult to find. I search everywhere, determined to find wisdom and to understand the reasons for things. I am determined to prove to myself that wickedness is stupid and that foolishness is mindless. I discovered that a seductive woman is a trap more bitter than death. Her passion is a snare, and her soft hands are chains. Those who are pleasing to God will escape her, but sinners will be caught in her snare. This is my conclusion, says the teacher. I discovered this after looking at the matter from every possible angle. Though I have searched repeatedly, I have not found what I was looking for. Only one out of the 1,000 men of virtuous is virtuous, and not one woman. But I did find this. God created people to be virtuous, but they have each turned to follow their own downward path. This is the teacher, and I remember him being very pessimistic, but there's a silver lining. 8. How wonderful to be wise, to analyze and interpret things. Wisdom lights up a person's face, softening its harshness. Obedience of the king. Obey the king since you vowed to God that you would. Don't try to avoid doing your duty, and don't stand with those who plot evil, for the king can do whatever he wants. His command is backed by power. No one can resist or question it. Those who obey him will not be punished. Those who are wise will find a time and a way to do what is right. For there is a time and a way for everything, even when a person is in trouble. Indeed, how can people avoid what they don't know is going to happen? None of us can hold back our spirit from departing. None of us has the power to prevent the day of our death. There is no escaping that obligation, that dark battle. And in the face of death, wickedness will certainly not rescue the wicked and the righteous. I have thought deeply about all that goes on here under the sun, where people have the power to hurt each other. I have seen wicked people buried with honor, yet they were the very ones who frequented the temple and are now praised in the same city where they committed their crimes. This too is meaningless. When a crime is not punished quickly, people feel that it is safe to do wrong. But even though a person sins 100 times and still lives a long time, I know that those who fear God will be better off. The wicked will not prosper, for they do not fear God. Their days will never grow long like the evening shadows. And this is not all that is meaningless in our world. In this life, good people are often treated as though they were wicked, and wicked people often treated as though they are good. They were good. This is so meaningless. So I recommend having fun, because there is nothing better for people in this world than to eat, drink, and enjoy life. That way they will experience some happiness along all the hard work God gives them under the sun. In my search for wisdom and in my observation of people's burdens here on earth, I discover that there is ceaseless activity day and night. I recognize that no one can discover everything God is doing under the sun. Not even the wisest people discover everything, no matter what they claim. 9 goes on to talk about death comes for us all. I'm going to jump over to 9:13, thoughts of wisdom and folly. Here is another bit of wisdom that has impressed me as I have watched the way our worlds work. There's a small town with only a few people, and a great king came with his army and besieged it. A poor wise man knew how to save the town, and so it was rescued. But afterward, no one thought to thank him. So even though wisdom is better than strength, those who are wise will be despised if they are poor. What they say will not be appreciated for long. Better to hear the quiet words of a wise person than the shouts of a foolish king. Better to have wisdom than weapons of war. But one sinner can destroy much that is good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your word for today. So I think I said 6 through 9. Did I say 6 through 9? Yeah, 6 through 9. And you know what? Honestly, the end of this goes to 12. So if you want to take through 12 too, go right ahead. I have 12 highlighted, and I'd have to go back and see why. But 6 through 9. Okay. So, you know what? Let me real quickly. I always write down whenever I come across my repeated paths in the Bible. It's earlier than I thought. Alrighty. So I will be right back. All right. So that is your time with me. We have now come to the point where we burn our bay leaves. I want you to take a deep breath. Think of something good and wonderful, positive vibes only, nothing against anyone's will, and everything legal. Actually, hold on one second. Okay. I want to thank you for checking in with me. I pray and speak that your day wherever it carries you or whatever you're getting ready to do next is exactly what you need it to be. Whether you're going off to get you some rest, resume your day, go for a walk, interact with people, whatever it is you're getting ready to do. Blessings to you from me. All right. So stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated, stay safe, and most of all, beloved, you are loved and lovable. Stay loved. Ciao.